Hey everybody, it's Mattie with Mattie's Reactions and More.
And it's from Beehive Nation TV.
We're coming back to you with another requested video. But before we do, there are a few things we'd love to have you do. Y'all know what it is already. But for the people that's new, becoming family here, we'd like for you to like, share, subscribe, leave a genuine comment, and hit that notification bell, which will alert you each and every time we upload a video. And also, before we get into the video, 3,000 subs, baby. Nothing but up from here. Hey, hey, hey. Yeah, guys, that's something to celebrate. 3,000 subscribers, and we appreciate each and every one of you guys. And again, for that, we say thank you, and we love you so much. So again, if you're new to this channel, don't forget all the above things mentioned to do. We love you guys so much. And also, I want to get to a point where I'm able to do some giveaways and things like that for this channel as well. But until I see something coming in, I can't do it just yet. But once we get there, we all gonna be there. Okay, again, y'all know I have to write everything down. And I had a request from Carrie Lapides. Now I'm going to spell the name out and see if Uncle says it the same way I do. Lapides.
You know, after thinking about that, I wonder if it's Lapidus.
Lapidus. Okay, you say Lapidus. I say Lapides.
Okay, we'll see.
Or yeah.
Just
yeah.
leave it.
So Carrie, if you're watching this video,
please let us know
which one of us is right.
If either one of us is right.
Or, yeah, if either one of us is right, yeah. But anyway, Miss Carrie wanted to hear A Generous Heart by Elvis Presley. Let's get right into the video.
We were in Jackson, Mississippi, and he got word that a little boy in the hospital was dying, and that he wanted to see Elvis, and he couldn't make it to the show. He was too sick to get to the show, and so we loaded up in cars and we went to the hospital. And Elvis was wearing Elvis met this little boy and talked to him, and he was wearing a cross that was made of garnets. And he took it off and he gave it to this child. And it was a real touching moment, just an hour or so before the show.
When my wife was, 9 or 10, and her sister was maybe a couple of years older than that, they would go down to Graceland and in the hopes of seeing Elvis. And they would go down there almost every weekend, Saturday or Sunday, and many times he would actually come down to the gate and shake hands and talk to people, and he did it often. Sometimes he did it by himself. Sandra remembers one time he actually came down riding a horse and was talking to him, and that just made their day, you know, and it just, again, shows the type of person that he is, that he would do that.
When Elvis started getting that money in and started becoming, he wanted to share it. He was a sharing person. And his dad got in early confrontations with him about giving so much away. He would say, son, you know, we're pretty wealthy. Man, you're giving people houses. And you're giving guys on television you don't even know Cadillacs. And people walk off the street in a dealership, you buy them a Cadillac. And pretty soon the bank account is going to take a hit. And Elvis would say, look, Dad, he said, look, I enjoy giving stuff away to people. He said, that's how I get my enjoyment. He said, I can go out and do a tour. He said, I can do a tour in 6 weeks and make $2 million. He said, I'm not worried about money. He said, I want to make people happy.
For all of Elvis Presley's accomplishments, I think his greatest joy, other than Lisa Marie, was giving to others. He loved to see the smiles and the looks on people's faces when he gave them things. He really was a generous and kind man.
The true measure of a man's success is not what he achieves and acquires for himself in his lifetime, but what of himself he gives to others. Elvis Presley touched the lives of millions and millions of people the world over. With his music, his movies, and his live performances, Elvis brought joy to the hearts of people everywhere. And even today, over 3 decades after his untimely death, Elvis's music and his legacy continue to have a lasting and profound impact on music and popular culture around the world. And yet, for all Elvis's phenomenal success as an entertainer, perhaps the King's most endearing quality and the greatest of his legacies was his enormous generosity to others who were less fortunate than he was.
I always felt like he tried to give back to his fans more than he took from them. And whenever he gave a piece of jewelry away on the stage, when he'd take off a ring and hand it to a fan, it was just an act of love on his part. He just loved his fans, and they're what made him work, and why he worked so hard was his fans. He loved his fans.
We had a guy in a group named Richard Davis, who was kind of he'd been with Elvis, he'd been in the Memphis Mafia, he'd been Elvis' stand-in in a bunch of his movies, Memphis guy, was a record promoter, and he was down on his luck. And Elvis heard about it, and he sent for him. He said, "Richard, I hear you down on your luck." And holidays were approaching. He said, "Yeah, Elvis." Elvis gave him a brand new Cadillac convertible and $10,000 cash. He said, "Maybe this will help you out." And he said, "Thanks a lot, Elvis."
On March 25, 1961, Elvis performed a benefit concert at the Block Arena at Pearl Harbor, Hawaii. This performance raised over $65,000 toward the building of the USS Arizona Memorial, which was completed the following year. This donation made Elvis Presley the single biggest individual donor to the Pearl Harbor Memorial. In 1975, at a concert in Asheville, North Carolina, Elvis went on stage wearing a huge opal and diamond ring on his finger. This ring was reportedly worth between $35,000 and $40,000. During the concert, Elvis saw a little girl in the front row who was sitting in a wheelchair. He took the ring off his finger and gave it to the little girl. There was no publicity about this, just the enormous satisfaction that Elvis got from seeing the look on the little girl's face. Elvis reportedly bought close to $700,000 worth of jewelry in the last 5 years of his life, most of which he gave away.
I was sitting by the stage, and he came over to me and he says, he leaned over and he says, "Where's your case?" And he's up there singing, "Where's your case?" And I said, "It's right here." He said, "Set it up here." I set my case up on the stage, and he just got jewelry out of it, and he was giving it to people on the people on the front row and he was just giving away all this jewelry. The difference in Elvis and everyone else was that he obviously loved his fans. He was so honest. You just didn't doubt that he was pure as a driven snow. He was just a good person, and people knew that. His fans knew that.
Elvis's great spirit of generosity, giving, and compassion for those less fortunate than him lives on to this day. Former wife Priscilla Presley and daughter Lisa Marie Presley continue Elvis's philanthropy and honor his memory through the Elvis Presley Foundation. The foundation supports charities and community programs such as Presley Place, which provides homeless families up to 1 year of rent-free housing, child daycare, career and financial counseling, family management guidance, and other assistance to help people regain their independence and self-esteem. In 1983, the Elvis Presley Memorial Trauma Center was established at the Regional Medical Center in Memphis. It has served over 80,000 Level 1 trauma patients from a 6-state area. Indeed, there is no greater gift one person can give another in this world than to give of himself. And for all Elvis has given the world through his incredible body of work, his greatest legacy to his millions and millions of fans was his kindness. and his generous heart.
He liked to see the enjoyment, because when a guy gives you a new Cadillac or gives you a house or gives you a free trip to Hawaii, you become elated, and that made him feel good. He didn't play golf, he didn't fish, he didn't hunt, all that stuff. And to give stuff away and make people happy, that's what he enjoyed.
You know I can be found sitting no more alone. If you can't come around, at least please telephone. Don't be cruel.
Alright, so that was the perfect song for him. You know, I mean, Unc and I went to the movies and we saw the movie, and looking at this video or documentary per se explains everything about him. You know, a generous heart. He had just that, a generous heart, very caring man, very loving man, very giving man. And I wish I could have met the man. I wish I could have met him. I mean, like,
Wow.
Jewelry,
It
cars.
is amazing how, he wasn't into, it's obvious that material things
Didn't matter to him.
No. I think he truly, all he wanted to do was sing
And make
and
others
dance.
happy.
And if it brought in the money, great. He would have done it for free. If that's how it worked out, I truly believe he would have done it for free. He just loved his music, and so when the money came and the material things came, it was like, now here's my way to, because the more you get, the more you can give. And the more he got, the more he gave. And the more he gave, the more he received. And so that was a very interesting, now I want to see the entire documentary.
Yeah. And like the guy said, a lot of stuff we didn't know about, like this, for example, and they didn't talk about it in the movie that we saw,
Yeah. Well,
how generous and
yeah.
giving he was.
Well, they kind of did when, the father was talking about how he was just giving stuff away. He was just, giving stuff to people when they had the scene about the being broke.
Yeah, his father said that he was broke because he wanted to buy cars and things like that.
Yeah.
But, we're talking about him being generous and just like basically giving his heart to people, like
Giving other people cars.
yeah, giving other
The
people
guys
cars.
see people coming out the street at the car dealership and buying a Cadillac.
And buying them jewelry. Y'all see that ring? And that touched my heart. He saw about the handicap, the little handicapped girl in the audience. I wonder where these people are now, and I even wonder if she still has the ring. But gosh, Elvis was a loving man, and I wish that I had an opportunity to be able to meet him. It's so unfortunate that I didn't get to meet him and he didn't get to meet me. But Carrie, that was a great documentary.
Thank you, Carrie.
And for some reason, I feel like it's a song in here that we're supposed to be listening to. So I'm still going to drop this video. However, I'm going to go back and look to see if it's a song.
No, that was the name of the documentary.
Okay. All right. So, Carrie, again, I say thank you, and I know that Unc thanks you very much for that, too. And like we said, we're learning so much by the day, And in my eyes, Elvis Presley will never, ever, 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 never, ever, ever, ever be forgotten. Guys, as long as we keep his name alive, I love Elvis.
With that being said, it's time to go.
Let's go. All right, guys, we love you so much. And until the next video, see you later. Peace.